we wash our hands? Nicholas, I brought something to answer your question. Look closely at the camera. You can see this. It is no rinse body bath. No rinse body bath. And it's a bag with a straw. So now let's demonstrate. Okay, it's time to get clean. I'm going to squirt some water out. So we have a big ball of water, and you put it on your hand. And now I've got water floating around on my hand. And so I'd wash my hands up with that. And then grab a towel. And dry them off. So that's how we do it. We use no rinse. It's a special type of slightly soapy water, so you don't need to have a bunch of fresh water afterwards. You squirt it, you float a ball of water in front of yourself. Well, I really like the recipe, but unfortunately, it's virtually impossible to make here in space. Because, for example, we have asparagus and our nuts and grits, and they're all in individual packages. And when you open them up, here's an asparagus. If I open this with the grits and then I carefully cut it open, it's really difficult to combine them together. So in space, normally, we just eat the asparagus, and then we eat the grits, and then we eat the nuts, and keep things simple. Otherwise, they're just everywhere. Carefully open this up and cut it with a knife or scissors around the edge, and then grab your trusty spoon and just very carefully eat it one piece at a time, like that. You can't grab stuff and mix it, because everything's just going to float all over the place. So this is where I'm going to rehydrate the asparagus, right here on the ceiling. There it is, with water in it. Asparagus, ready to eat. And you cut it open, we keep floating scissors on a tether. And very carefully cut it around the outside, and then be ready to eat it with my spoon. You don't want to load your spoon up too much or the food will fly everywhere. So imagine trying to mix other food in with this when the package is already this full. It really just, it's not possible. And you can't really hold 2 of these or 3 of these at once. So you kind of just need to eat one and then eat another. Pac-Man. Uh-oh. Asparagus explosion. Save the day. One last piece of asparagus, we'll eat it upside down. Just because we can. Chocolate pudding cake. So the way you prepare it is you push all the cake down out of one end, carefully cut it open, away from the Velcro, because you want to keep your Velcro for sticking it to the wall. Then grab your long spoon, because it's a long container, reach inside, chocolate pudding cake. Looks like it too. Not bad. Gonna be hard to eat. Gonna be messy. Very good. That'd be good with coffee. Here's a cup of coffee. Stick my straw in. Mix it up. Carefully open the straw. In the mouth. Hot. Good coffee. Chocolate cake and coffee. Food's not so bad. Soaking wet, and then we're going to see what'll happen when we wring it out. Meredith and Kendra suggested that I dip this in a bag, but bags don't hold water in space, so instead I filled a water bag. This has drinking water in it. And I'm going to squirt a bunch of water into this washcloth. Okay, so here's a soaking wet washcloth. Get the microphone so you can hear me while I'm talking. And now let's start wringing it out. It's really wet. It's becoming a tube of water. The water's all over my hands. In fact, it wrings out of the cloth into my hands. And if I let go of the cloth carefully, the water sort of has it stick to my hand. Okay, so the experiment worked beautifully. And the answer to the question is the water squeezes out of the cloth, and then because of the surface tension of the water, it actually runs along the surface of the cloth and then up into my hand, almost like you had Jello on your hands or gel on your hand, and it'll just stay there. Wonderful moisturizer on my hands. And the cloth doesn't really unravel itself. It just stays there floating like a dog's chew toy, soaking wet. Great experiment, worked perfectly. Meredith and Kendra, congratulations. Great idea.
And how you celebrated the style. You are watching Sports Center, presented by Volkswagen. You don't know new until you know what's new.
Watch out, I got a girl pork chop right by your right.
Game. Get new food, new drink, and free game with your smartphone. The HTC One M8 for $0 down at T-Mobile.
This is going to make a mess. Well, defense allowed it enough that the pressure on the top as I ripped it open was going to...
You don't know new until you know what's new at Dave & Buster's. Now play 10 new games.
Oh man, it's delicious.
Get new food, new drink, and free
It's all
game
about
play.
the sauce. I mean, once you get sriracha sauce too, then you put that on
Right, there's taco sauce on there. Really good.
This has some beef in it. That's beautiful.
You see that? Oh.
But what I did come up with was tortillas, beefsteak, and I found red beans and rice in one package, red beans and rice, plus hot sauce. So I think with these ingredients I can come pretty close and we'll make something delicious. Okay, food piping hot, ready to mix up. Tracy's recipe was to open up the tortilla, squirt on the nice warm bean paste, and then break up the beefsteak, put the beefsteak in there, squirt on some hot sauce, roll it up like a burrito, ready to eat. Let's give it a try. Space tortilla. Lasts 18 months in this package. Got my tortilla ready. Now, my bean paste. Okay, nice and warm. Squeeze it out of the corner. Cut it open so it makes sort of like a little squirty nozzle so I can squirt it straight on to my tortilla. Ooh, that works well. Okay, we got the beans and rice, and now time to make the steak. What am I going to do with that in the meanwhile? I'm going to hold it in my tortilla package carefully and Velcro that to the table while I'm waiting. Perfect. Beefsteak. Tracy said to break it up into pieces and put it in the tortilla. Oh, it's starting to look good. Ready for the pièce de résistance. Space hot sauce, good and red, nice and spicy. Hot sauce. Okay, what we have here is beans, rice, beef, hot sauce, all wrapped up in a tortilla. That makes it. The beauty of eating a burrito or a tortilla in space is nothing can fall out. The best it can do is sort of float next to you. I'll eat this end, you watch that end. Hot sauce.
So it ended up being tasty.
It's good. Jamie and Adam, you guys probably think this is cool. Our straw has a valve on it, so we can shut it on and off so the stuff doesn't come squirting out